Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching WYTV. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. You can call me Sidon J, that is if you like. And this is another edition of News Review today, which is Thursday in the month of September. All right, I'm not the only one on the building today. I have a me.
Ambassador Rochimiolilua.
Yeah, you're welcome to this wonderful edition of News Review.
Nice having me on the show.
I'm so glad to have you on this platform today, because this is going to be the first time I'll be doing this with you. All right, I think our viewers there will like what you are going to ship in today, because it's going to be on another.
Well, it depends on how the news comes. That
Exactly.
you know that
You already know what is going on in Nigeria.
Yes, I know. As Nigeria has their own.
All right, if you're just joining, the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Herbals and King Victor Nigerian Enterprises, and I know I will do it every day. We read out the headlines that made out in the newspaper of today. Then after that, we go on a short commercial break and come back to do justice to it together. And let's kick start with a Punch newspaper today. Tinubu's academic record. APC tackle Atiku as USA court grant ex-VP's request. Buhari regretted some of his decision as president at Deshina. Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. Morocco to spend $11.6 million on earthquake recovery. Then on Vanguard newspaper, pressure on petrol, diesel prices as crude hits $97.17. Mohbad, celebrities, youth, fans storm Lagos Osun Delta as protests entered day 2. Wave backlog of tuition fees, students beg Cardinal Governor Uba Sani. Agenda, female minister speak. Then on Daily Post newspaper today, no life in Kogi State, people are dying. YPP go back, candidate Omale. Delta Assembly passes resolution of rising prostitution, drug abuse. Tinubu celebrates First Lady at 63. 2023 Independence Day celebration will be low-key, no ceremony at Eagle Square, federal government. Then on the Guardian newspaper, coups. Why military incursion is not solution to leadership deficits. National Youth Games athletes left in Benin bypass traffic. Curfew in Kano State. Jubilation in Abuja as tribunal sacks Governor Yusuf. Russia attacks Ukraine cities overnight. 2 dead in Kherson. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. We are going on a short commercial break, and when we're back, we'll do justice to some of the headlines. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere.
Nokpa for management of power.
Welcome to King Victor's Enterprise.
King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. He say make I tell una say una wey dey sell provision, noodles, groundnut oil and other food items there.
Èmi ni ìyálọ́jà Ìkẹ́nnẹ́ Mrs. Olúbùnmi Olúwọlé. King Victor is a nice son and he doesn't cheat.
King Victor Nigeria Enterprises are one major distributors Honeywell, Golden Penny, King's Oil, Gino àti bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń bá wa dòwò pọ̀ látẹ̀yìnwá wọ́n kígbe sàdánkátà fáwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ń jẹ lọ́dọ̀ wa. Come straight to King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. Gbogbo ẹni tó ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ òwò nǹkan oúnjẹ títà àǹfààní láti ṣí sílẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa o. Máa gbọ́jà kó o máa sanwó ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ as you dey order for your market. Piam, our motto don deliver am for your shop and we no dey put extra money. Tara ṣàṣà báyìí kò bá wa dòwò pọ̀ ní King Victor Nigeria Enterprises àwa ní shop 2 Awolowo market Makunilu Ṣàgámù. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wa 081-379-09381. King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, fast and trusted.
You welcome back from that short commercial break, and that's our sponsor, Nokpa Herbals, that produce Nokpa Herbal Bitter, Herbal Flusher, Herbal Tonic, and Herbal Powder. You can get it anywhere across the country, even if you are in abroad. We can bring Nokpa for you.
Exactly the point. Please always make sure you take Nokpa because it's good for your health. Yes, all those medicine tablets that I didn't say they are not good, but you see all this herb is meant for our health and it's good for your health. Just make sure you take care of Nokpa.
Yeah, it's good for your body. Try Nokpa today and you will surely give your testimony. Then if you want to get your food stores, in Ogun State, Nigeria, anywhere you are, you can just contact King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. They are on every social media platform and you can call their number. You can see the number on the advert. All right, the one we are starting with today is about this Tinubu's academic record. APC tackles Atiku as U.S. court grants ex-VP's request.
You see, Sidonji, what I believe is there is an adage that I do tell people that a clear conscience fears no accusation. Why is all this? Why all this raising issues of academic record?
Yes.
If the APC and the so-called president of the Nigerian has nothing to hide, is there any hidden agenda in all this academic record? Release it for them. Let them go through it. Since you are rest assured that truly you studied in that university,
but
is
sir,
there any hidden thing in it?
We know, according to what the news is giving us, we already know that APC are the one fighting with Atiku. Tinubu is not saying anything yet. He has not said anything.
But Tinubu ordered that the result should not be given to them then. Have you ever seen anybody that is trying to get a job in a company, that is trying to get a job in a company that wrote a letter of application to the company without a CV?
But then, the Constitution of Nigeria does not state that you should go to university before you can become.
Because yes, since the Constitution does not say you should go to the university, what's the level of you? What do you need to have before contesting? So since it doesn't matter, release it to them. Let them see what they want to. Let them verify whatever they want to verify.
Well, I think Tinubu has already come out to say he went to secondary school in Nigeria, his primary school in Nigeria. So I don't know the reason why Atiku really wants to know about it.
But with what I'm seeing, according to the news that I had yesterday, that Biden, the president of the United States of America, ordered Chicago University to release the results. For whatever they want to use the result. There is no issue on this. Don't let us begin to pull our legs. I believe APC and PDP should come together and see how we are going to move Nigeria forward based on the hardship that presently on this country, not to be dragging, pulling each other's leg. If you pull your legs till 1 year, 2 years, then would you give the president to focus on the economy of Nigeria?
But sir, I want to ask a question because it seems with the youth of nowadays, we don't get to know things about politics. But then it's not that we don't know, but sometimes the elders are always on top. We need to come to you for some advice. But I think if Atiku was to be the president of Nigeria, I knew it that Tinubu will never probe him like this.
It's either when Atiku was the vice president, did he face any encounter from all this Tinubu administration? Why is it that the man is so desperate to be the president of this Nigeria? Why is it that the man is so desperate? You have been there as a vice president of Nigeria for good 80 years. Isn't it? What else is the man looking for? If you have any idea of moving this country forward, if truly you people love this country, please and please let Tinubu rest. Come together. Let all hands be on deck. Then cooperate with him and let's see how we are going to move the country forward. Not to be pulling our leg. If truly you love this country.
Well, we should love Nigeria. That's what we keep saying. The All Progressive Congress on Wednesday ridiculed the efforts of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to obtain the academic records of President Bola Tinubu from the Chicago State University, United States, describing it as an expedition in futility. The ruling party said it had nothing to fear as the president had always boasted that he had nothing to hide. This came as Judge Jeffrey Gilbert of the U.S. District Court for Northern District of Illinois ordered Tinubu's alma mater to provide all relevant and non-privileged documents to the applicant, Atiku, within 2 days. Wow. Well, why is it that it is not U.S. court that is, interfering in Nigerians' matter? Because I don't get it.
You were asking why U.S. court is interfering in Nigeria matter. One thing I want you to know that there is no president that has been elected in Nigeria that U.S. will not intervene. You know, there's some international standard to come and monitor the election. If that happens, automatically it can also happen.
But when they are doing their own election, they didn't invite Nigeria.
They will not invite Nigeria because Nigeria, we are all Africans.
My goodness.
Their own is different from us. Their own, you know, Nigerians, you know, African mentality. When there is an election, there is possibility for rigging. You understand what I'm saying? There is possibility for rigging. There is possibility for mago-mago. I'm sorry to have used that language. That is why all these international standards were so interested in putting eye in the election of the whole Africa, not Nigerian alone.
That's true. Documents served by Atiku through his counsel, Angela Louis, include the record of admission and acceptance at the university, dates of attendance including degrees, awards and honors attained by Tinubu at the university, among others. In spite of the development, the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Duro Meseko, said the ruling party was not bothered by the court order, stressing that the president had nothing to hide. He said the president has always said over and over again that he has nothing to hide. His records are there for all to see. Chicago University has also written severally to say that this man is from us. So what are we fighting for?
If they have confirmed it, let the sleepy dog lie. Does that has anything to do with the election tribunal?
Nigeria.
Does it has anything to do with it? Have you ever seen when there was a tribunal going on in the court? Did any of the judges demanded that they should bring the certificate or the university certificate of the new elected president? No. So what are they trying to insinuate?
No. Nothing has changed. There is no cause for alarm. It is an expedition of futility. In his reaction, the presidency submitted that Tinubu academic record would be of no value to the PDP presidential candidate, nothing that Atiku and his party were simply chasing shadows. A president aide who spoke on condition of anonymity premised this on the ground that Atiku, who emerged first runner-up in the presidential election, cannot present new evidence in court other than those he presented before the presidential election petition tribunal, which ruled in Tinubu's favor on September 6th. So I think they have Atiku in hand. They've already, kept his head under them.
He has been caged under them.
Atiku did not have anything to fight against at this result.
I don't know why what he's trying to bring out from the result or no result. I don't know. Maybe if he has any other hidden agenda, let him come to the whole Nigeria and let it place it before the whole Nigeria. This is the reason why I said his university results should be brought to Nigeria and let the whole Nigerian see and verify.
But the way I see this thing, sir, is that talking about Atiku has been running for this presidency since 1993, sir. If you could recollect, he has been on the run for this seat. But then he's seeing this as this is the last chance.
But he was made the vice president for good 8 years.
Yes, but
if I may ask,
being the guy is not like being the subordinate.
Let me tell you, if I may ask, if you could remember during the tenure of Obasanjo, if not that Baba was a very strong person, Atiku would have been the one ruling, because he was the one that is making all those degrees then. If you remember what Baba said then, if not maybe because the Baba was a former military personnel that makes him to succeed during his tenure. Atiku was one of those people that has been making some laws there, if you could remember.
Exactly.
I think you understand. Do you remember when the former president, Muhammadu Buhari was there? We have Vice President Osinbajo. When Buhari traveled to America or so, I don't know where he traveled, but he traveled out of the country.
I think maybe when he was sick.
When he traveled out for a medical treatment. You remember that Boko Haram strike, all these bandits, they strike in a particular place there. Yeah. I couldn't remember. Then the vice president had to remove.
Acting president.
The acting president had to remove some service chief. Then, if you could remember,
that's true.
Through those periods, nothing like striking or not striking. It was after when the man came, when the president came, he now had to remove those people that the man. appointed to that position and restored those people that the man sacked then. What happened next? All these bandits started striking again. So since then, the man was benched. You don't understand what I'm saying. Well, so if Atiku was there for good 8 years, he was not benched now. Obasanjo didn't bench him. He gave him free hand to do whatever he likes in his place. And his people feel his impact as a vice president of Nigeria. Okay, now, Dr. Yemi Osinbajo, or Professor Yemi Osinbajo, precisely, in Ikenne, in Ogun State, I don't think those people feel his impact as the vice president of Nigeria.
The most annoying part of it was that when he was the president of Nigeria, he came to Ikenne to vote for Tinubu.
Tinubu, yes.
And when he came, he saw
what was going on in
the road from Shagamu.
From Shagamu to Ikenne, the road was so good. What was his achievement?
My mind was like, he's going to do something about it.
What was his achievement? What could people now count as one of those things that you have been able to achieve, being the vice president of Nigeria for good 8 years in your own town, not to talk of the state?
Well, the official said, after getting the president record, how will that help Atiku's case? The university has not recanted its often stated position that President Tinubu graduated in 1979 from the school. Atiku and PDP are chasing shadows. The president's academic record have no probable value to Atiku's case in court. At Supreme Court, you can't plead new evidence outside what you front-loaded at the court of first instance, which is the appeal court that has decided on the presidential election petition. So I think Atiku should just rest on this because it has been casted.
All these things is even giving me nerdy because I believe it's a no-going area. Let the sleeping dog lie. Let the sleeping dog lie. Atiku should go and wait.
Atiku should wait. That is what we Nigerians are saying. She just work hand in hand with the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so as to make progress in this administration. Well, the next one we are going to be looking at is our agenda, Female Ministers Speak. So all the female ministers came together and spoke about their agenda being the minister in this current administration. So we are going to be looking at what they are saying one by one. The first person is Onyejosha Ikeruka, the State Labour and Employment Minister for State Labour and Employment. And what she said was taking youth off the streets.
That has been what these people have been campaigning over and over, even when the former president Goodluck Jonathan was there.
Okay.
We remember when Goodluck Jonathan, the former president, when he removed subsidy during those periods, they were the one that campaigned against him.
Yeah, that's
the subsidy is a scam. If you could remember their campaign through when President Muhammadu Buhari was about to be elected as the president, what our Babalokon said then was that they are going to take off youth from the street. Now, if I may ask, you could remember recently, almost 2 days ago, there was a protest in OAU based on the tuition fee hike. Now, this set of people, this set of you that you people said you are going to take off the street, if those you did not study, how are you going to take off them? How are you going to take them off from the street? Those you that are supposed to study, where would they get the money to study now? Wouldn't they be on the street?
That's true.
So how do you want to take them? If truly you have it in mind of taking off the youth from the street, at least you should be able to subsidize their school fees.
Well, I think even the subsidizing of school fees is not the case. Now, being the Minister of Labour and Employment, talking about...
He may present his own agenda.
Okay, presenting your agenda, what are the measures you've taken? Because if you want to take people out of it, that means you are providing job for them. Now, where is the job? Where is the company?
There is an agenda to present. And there is always a fulfillment of the agenda. Do you know how many agendas they have been presenting in Nigeria? To all Nigerians.
Well,
since the democracy, do you know how many agendas? At the end of the day, what happened? Do you remember when, in fact, I wonder why all our politicians were full of lies and fake promises.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. No, none of them is left out of this matter. They will tell you heaven, and they promise you heaven and earth. At the end of the day, they will tell you it is not
Well,
easy.
talking about the promise, she said, we promise Nigerians that we are going to take many of our youths out of the streets, and it is important that we work towards fulfilling the promises of this government to Nigerians.
No, they work together.
Now let us hope for good.
I believe their answer on deck.
Exactly.
On this particular matter. We want to take you by your word, and we believe, my honorable minister, we believe you are going to act by your word. Do as I do and say as I say. We are expecting that to happen soon.
Well, Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, which is police affairs, said towards a safer nation. That's their own agenda. They're ready to continue working towards a safer and better nation. Together, we shall strive to create a brighter and more prosperous future for our beloved nation. Lift that's that about the police affairs.
The police affairs.
Yes, but I don't see this as a
working towards a safer nation. Truly, everybody has.
We don't have good security.
Everybody has his own agenda. Why do you expect us to have a good security when the welfare of the police is not being taken care of?
Talking about the police.
A man that is hungry, that has not eaten. You expect the man to chase after a criminal. You expect that? I could remember some times ago, almost 4 or 5 months ago, that I was about to travel. All this road safety along this Lagos Express Road, they use their big towing van to cross the road, so to be able to, for them to apprehend some motorists, based that the road is now okay. For motorists, if they stop them, they will not stop. They started arresting motorists, arresting them, taking them to their station, All of a sudden, somebody was driving, somebody drove down to that place and said there was an accident at the back. What's the job of the road safety?
They are supposed to go there.
To go there. They were standing at the same position for good 30 minutes. I took my time to watch them to see how they are going to respond to what that man said. Another man came after 30 minutes and said there was an accident on the road. They were there. They did not go. So somebody that their welfare is not being taken care of, are you expecting that person to chase after an armed robber? And what are the weapons that were given to them? What are the weapons? They carry AK-47, and you see all these bandits carrying SMG, bringing it down to their camp.
There are some police officers that said they do count bullets for them.
For them, because you cannot just shoot anyhow.
Because of the brutality, when they were being given much bullet, they misuse it, and that's the reason why these days they didn't give them much bullet, because they waste it on killing Nigerians.
That doesn't mean that you know them. You know how to fetch them out. You know criminals. Can you tell me that a DPO of a station does not know the kind of boys that he's working with? Even though the DPO has just been transferred, I believe in the next 2-3 months, you should be able to study them. Exactly. You know the bad eggs amongst them. You know the good ones amongst them. Why are you giving the post of the DPO?
Well, let's move on to the next minister, Dr. Betta Edu, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. She said, lift 133 million out of poverty. Out of poverty.
If truly they have the mind of lifting 133 million out of poverty. The palliative they said they share. Where were the palliative? Did you see the palliative in your area? Let me say in your street, not to talk of your house. Let me say in your community, not to talk of your street. So they said they wanted to leave. If my brother, I do tell people, we can't just sit down under an umbrella of fake promises and fake lies. Could you remember when these people were campaigning, your network provider, don't you receive a text message that you should vote for so party?
Even during the COVID-19 period, NCDC,
they do send messages through your network provider. How did they get our numbers? How did they get those numbers that they were sending text messages to? If we could have BVN, instead of providing the palliative, if it was 5,000 naira that you want to give to the whole Nigerians, send it to all Nigerians. We appreciate, not that those things will be one-sided. The palliative that you said you gave out to, if you could remember the case that happened almost 4 days ago, A commissioner in Ondo State, a woman commissioner, the councillor, the chairman of his town, was accusing her that the palliative that was meant for them, that the guy didn't even know how she distributed the palliative. They are in the same party, not to talk somebody who is not a politician, who is not of the same party with them.
Well, Dr. Betta Eddie said, we will keep our focus on lifting 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. We can do it in phases, a step at a time, because with determination and strong will, nothing is impossible. We will play down on politics. We are here to face the real business of governance. Sources indicated that 136 million are extremely poor, and that is unacceptable. So 136 million Nigerians are poor. Can you hear what they are saying?
How did they rate it? How did they rate it?
I can't even go with that. Because
what is the population of the? How did they rate it that it was 136 million that are poor? You see, this government, we prayed for God's intervention in this one.
But the next minister is Lola Adejan, Minister for Tourism, and she said tourism top revenue earner.
Top revenue earner. How many tourism do we have in Nigeria?
I think we have some, we have more tourism, and they are working on more. Because the most important tourism to me is the one they left behind, the Lagos State, one of our biggest tourism in Africa, in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Talking about the National Theatre. It is just left there.
You remember that all this Association of Nigerian Theatre Practitioners came out protesting some years back that National Theatre has been sold. Sold. Wow. Have you forgotten? All this, your guy Atiku Soko and Bello, they came out protesting that National Theatre has been sold, which is uncalled for.
Wow.
So where are the tourism? What's the person saying about tourism?
Well, she said there is a major emphasis on revenue generation, and the Ministry of Tourism will go on tourism revenue drive. With everyone's support, tourism is going to be the #1 revenue earner in both foreign and local currencies. Now they are still going to get the money.
I don't know how they are going to achieve that one. If you will remember, in fact, I know of Obafemi Awolowo. His house alone. If they can provide a museum there, it calls for people to come and watch.
Yeah, exactly.
You remember Pa Ogunde, the man from Ogun State in Ososa?
Yeah, I know.
His family members have turned that place to a museum that whenever you want to go there to go and watch, you see all those cameras that Baba used during his lifetime.
I saw his toothpaste, his brush,
his toothpaste, his brush, his clothes, or his bedroom. In fact, yes. that can attract people to come and see. But all those places, they didn't value it. So is it Olumo in Ogun State?
It's a private sector work now. It's not even for the government.
Is it Olumo in Ogun State that they will say it's going to attract people from outside?
Or is it this tourist center that is in Osun State?
Osun State, this Ijesha waterfall, Kogosi one spring in Ekiti. Is that what they are saying is going to generate money for them?
Well, the next minister is Kennedy Ohaneye. He said we'll train the trainers. Women Affairs, she said, I intend to start the train in the 6 geopolitical zones, and if we are able to achieve it in 100 days, we will definitely look out for people that will donate the materials for the people trained to start working on their skills, but on condition that each of them will train 10 people and will equally empower them.
They are looking for some set of people that is going to donate the material, who will now come out and say they want to donate.
So federal government cannot drop materials.
Let them live by example. Let them live by example. If truly they have they have the masses, they have the love of the masses, out of their salary they can still slash that I so person as a minister of so through my salary I have been able to donate so amount. So they are expecting people to come and donate. They should live by example.
But sir, you know, when we're talking about the female ministers here, at least they are women, and they've said it that what a man can do,
a woman can do better.
So let's hope for good, like they are going to do all these things they are mentioning. Then the next minister is Anotu Musawa, Minister for Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. She said art will compete with oil sector.
Art will compete when they have put all their lives oil sector. They are not saying how to.
Let us
I don't know if this woman really knows. If all these women really knows what they are saying. I don't know who is behind them, who is giving them all these ideas.
But they are just trying to let Nigerians know that they are not just there as figureheads.
The first tax 77 they did then, that there is nothing to be reckoned on to now. So where is the act coming from?
Well, you said the minister under my watch will reposition Nigeria for greatness through culture and creative industry. I always had the passion for taking the sector to the level that is required to make it compete with the oil sector. Let's wait and see the magic.
Well, truly, maybe she have an idea of what she's saying. Since the refinery of Nigeria is not working.
Okay.
You know, we normally export. Could you remember what happened there before yesterday's news headline that Dangote refinery has to be importing crude oil? The crude oil that we have in Nigeria,
it's not enough.
It is not that it's not enough for Dangote. They said the ones that they have, they will not be able to provide crude oil for Dangote from now, not until December, because they borrowed money outside, and the crude oil is going to be in the exchange of the money they borrowed.
Okay.
So Dangote has to go as far to be buying crude oil outside from the outside Nigeria. Why can't they swap? Give the crude oil to Dangote, collect the money from Dangote, and pay, and use the money to pay for the debt, and use the money to service the debt.
All this is our propaganda. They already know what they want to do. So we don't have any say than what we are saying here. You know, they are the ones that know the front, they know the back, they know everything about this crude oil. The last one we are going to be looking at today is about this Delta Assembly passes resolution on rising prostitution and drug abuse.
My brother, it will happen, it will surely happen. You don't understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yoruba proverb says, a child that is not well trained, I'm sorry to abuse it like that, a child that is not well trained, will surely sell the house that was being built. A child that is not built up, pardon me for that. A child that is not built will surely sell the house that you are building. Now, look at what is going on presently.
All our youths.
Talking
about the girls.
They are drug addicts. Not to talk of the female ones that is into prostitute. A child that the parent cannot afford of paying their school fees. I believe some of these of our leaders, right from the president down, they study free education. They went to free education. Why is it that it is during their own time now that they make education unbearable for the masses? Why their children are schooling and abroad? So they want all our children to drop out from school, so their children that are schooled in abroad will come and rule over them.
Yes, that's the plan. That's just the plan. Well, the Delta State House of Assembly has passed a resolution urging the state government to take drastic measures against rising cases of drug abuse and prostitution in the state. Not only in that state, I think it is
all over everywhere in Nigeria. Yeah. You are talking of prostitution. You go to Arewa, go to Kaduna, go to North. There are some places when you travel down to, let me say, there was a time I traveled to Bida. Bida, that's Zokwe Kingdom. Kebbi State.
Yes.
So we now went to a food restaurant like that. We wanted to eat. I saw a lot of children sitting outside. Some of them are inside. So immediately I took my food. I put my food on the table. As I was about to go and wash my hand, before I came back,
they will take your food. They are called almongiri.
What I discovered was that my food has been taken off. I said, what happened? Before I could know, I saw my food. They were about 7 in number. They were eating that same food that I purchased.
That's why you went to wash your hands.
That I've not even dipped my hand inside. And I said, what is going on? They say, they thought that I have finished eating the food that I bought. You understand what I'm saying? All those governors, they are governors, they are senators, they are honorable members, they are chairman, they are councillors. Don't they see them? Can't they engage these children in some things?
You know, what I say about that is, you know, in northern part of Nigeria, education is not being appreciated. So it's actually affecting the children. You
remember that was what Lamido Sanusi says that makes them to dethrone him.
Well, still talking about that, this followed the adoption of a motion by Mrs. Bridget Anyafulu, PDP Oshimili South, at the plenary on Asaba. Presenting the motion, Anyafulu described rising cases of open sex trade and the use of illicit drugs among youth in the state, especially in Asaba and its environs. Open sex trade and use of illicit drugs is not a good example for our children. The situation is worrisome considering the fact that both issues are illegal, she said. Anyafulu, also the chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs, Community and Social Development, said urgent measures must be taken to address the situation. The twin evil, he said, still talking about it. You see, sex, talking about prostitution and drug abuse. I think they are brothers.
They are brothers and sisters. They are brothers and sisters.
Because it is when these youths, these male youths, once they got addicted to it, they start pursuing prostitutes. The twin evil of drug abuse and sex trade represent great danger to the lives of our young people and the society at large. They both underline the physical, mental, and social well-being of our young people, and this will also jeopardize the development, peace, and security of our dear state.
If they really have it in mind of bringing those youth back to their feet, if they really have it in mind, you could remember whenever these politicians are going on campaign, those boys were the touts that they normally follows them with cutlasses and guns. So, have you ever seen a politician of Nigeria that his child, his or her child or their children, we follow them to the ground, to the campaign ground?
It's not possible.
But they think the most painful part that these youth were not wise enough to ask them, where are your children? If you are calling us for campaign, bring your children along with us. So if anything happens, we are into it together.
Well, I think we need to tell this to the parents too. You know, no matter how struggle you are facing, how the struggle may be, try as much as possible to get your children educated. Just try, because being an illiterate has a lot to do with this drug of a thing that we are talking about. You know, when you don't know the content of what you are taking, talking about the harmful substances they are taking as drugs. You know, if you have read about it, or someone has told you about it, that this thing is going to damage your kidney, damage your heart.
You know, Sidonje, do you know there are many learned people that also take drugs? Many learned people that also trade drugs.
That's true.
Does that mean they didn't go through the
manual? Take drugs in their offices.
Does that mean they didn't go through the manual? It's only because some of them abuse it. You don't understand what I'm saying. Some of them abuse it.
Yes. So, still talking about the Delta State. So, I want to state that no nation survives without the youth. The youth and the young general are the life wire of the nation. Any nation that ignores the youth is heading for doom. So the importance of the young people cannot be overemphasized. It is therefore very important that we address this ugly trend, she said.
You said youth are the future leader of tomorrow. Do you remember when Baba, the new elected president, was campaigning?
Yes.
That said, you youth, during the protest of the NSAS, that you said you want to be the president of Nigeria. That you should go and wait for your time, that a Melo can.
Baba is even a youth, saying that he's a youth.
At which age? At which age that Baba says he's a youth? Can he compare himself with Emmanuel Macron, the president of France? The man was 40 years old before he became the president.
Exactly. I was shocked when I saw the president.
So all those old ones, do you expect them to give room for the youth to become the president of Nigeria? Why they are saying Emilokan? After Babalokon now, another person will say is the next person to be the president of Nigeria. You should go and wait. Till then, till when?
When are the youth going to?
When are the youth going to become the leader of tomorrow? So what are they saying?
As we speak now, you are part of the movement, sir. I'm still a youth, and can we call you youth too, sir?
I'm also a youth too.
How do we call you a youth?
Anything above 60. Anything above 60.
I was even shocked when I saw that the first lady of Nigeria's age is of that age. She celebrated her birthday, and even the president celebrated her too. So I was like, so this 63. Woman is old, like
63.
I was so amazed, to be sincere, because I never thought of, because she looks very young, maybe because she has money, that's how rich people, that's how they live. So, still talking about also speaking, Mr. Oboro Prayer, PDP Bomadi, described the negative impact of rising drug abuse and prostitution, saying it must be addressed. If this ugly trend is not addressed, it would attack more young people into their folds, he said. So I think the federal government should do something about this. They should. I think even this mobile issue actually brought out lots of evidences that NDLA are not working at all.
They are not listening. They are not working. Let me tell you this, Sidonje, let me tell you this. If a criminal built a police station, equip the police station, fund the police station, and donate it to the Nigerian police. If I now add an issue with that criminal that built a station, that built a rail station, do you expect me to get justice from the police?
Wahala.
Now tell me, do you expect me to get justice based that he was the one that built the station for them and keep that funding the station?
So you already done what you're supposed to do as a criminal.
As a criminal.
So as to keep himself safe.
Safe when there is a problem on his neck.
Well, this is our last headline for today. Don't forget that the sponsor for this show is Wisdom Yard Nigeria Limited, that produces Nokpa Alba Bitters, Alba Flusher, Alba Tonic, Alba Powder, and shout out to King Victor Nigeria Enterprises that sells rice, ororo, or anything you want to buy. Talking about food stuff, King Victor Nigeria Enterprises is there, for you. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of News Review. My name still remains the same, Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. Don't forget to join us again on another edition of News Review tomorrow, which is Friday, the last day for News Review. And don't forget that the general, let me say the Oga Patapata of this station, talking about Dr. Nua Omoba Oshin. I will say a very big thank you to you for always being our backbone in this station. Alright, this year I'm going to be telling you guys, stay blessed and don't fight.